Though the weekend has come to an end, it does not mean we have to end things here. So today we're just going to be reviewing two different events. The first one, of course, is from the Natsu and Saori 10th anniversary show. Yes, that's right, folks. Natsupoi and Saori Anou celebrate 10 years since they debuted. It features, of course, not only talent from Stardom, but other talents from other promotions such as Oz Academy, Sendai Girls, and various other promotions as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But our final review, of course, features, of course, the finals of the best of the Super Juniors. So the real question is, who will walk out as this year's winner? Will it be Kosei Fujita, who will become the first ever youngest IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion? That's something we will see. Or will it be Yo, who has pursued this belt countless times but had looted him? Will he finally get that opportunity? That is something we will pay attention very, very closely. But as always, we will cap up our episode as usual with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, when matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. So, let's ride into the night. So let's begin with, of course, our first review, the Natsu and Saori 10th anniversary show. Natsu Saori 10th anniversary show. Now, to give you guys a bit of a context about what this event's about, this is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of two particular Yoshi wrestlers, Natsupoi and Saori Anou. Now, if you guys aren't familiarized with these two ladies have been in the same promotion. They started out at the same place, the Actwres Girls, and then since then they went on freelancing from various promotions such as Tokyo Triple Wrestling, Sendai Girls, Oz Academy, Ice Ribbon, wherever they got. However, they always had this thing of a rivalry that brought them back together. They first came back again after many years when they were reunited by someone from their past, and of course, many of you know her, our favorite pirate princess, Kairi Sane. But since then, of course, Saori Anou and Natsupoi have always played themselves as frenemies, you know. They're rivals, but also teammates, and not to mention their only link that gets them together is their friend who they've been so close, Tam Nakano. but of course we all know about Tam Nakano. So this is their self-produced show that they put out. They brought in various talents from various promotions, and I'll explain a few of them, that way we know. Now, we opened up, of course, with the Actwres Girls time. Now, for those who don't know, Actwres Girls are in fact a promotion that are based on theater, but they did allow wrestlers to become wrestlers at the time too, until back in late 2021. That's when they changed things, and in the start of 2022 they decided to focus on theater instead. But however, Saori Anou and Natsupoi at the time already left the promotion to pursue other things, but they do still have connections to people who've been there. They did one of their performances that they had done, which is well recognized, Love Riddle. It's one of my favorite songs from them, in case anybody asks. But Natsupoi and Saori actually performed with the current Actwres Girls talent, but it was great. I loved what they did. It felt like reliving some old nostalgic time. I mean, there are videos of both Natsupoi and Saori Anou doing that same song, so look it up on YouTube if you get a chance. But however, they did have a match involving only the Actwres Girls. Our first match, we have Yukina Uhara and Natsuki taking on Mari and Act. Now, those who know who Act is Act Yasukawa. Many of you may remember him. Remember her. She was involved in that shoot incident back in 2025 that made her face all chopped off by another wrestler named Yoshiko. But it was a pretty good match. I mean, many of I wasn't too sure where this was going to be, because I don't follow Actwres Girls that much. I mean, since they are mostly thrown into theater. But however, it was Natsuki who picked up the win when she applied a suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Natsuki and Uhara picked up the win. But as soon as the match was over, they were looked right in the eyes, of course, of the people that invited them over. Of course, Natsupoi and Saori Anou. We'll see them later, because they're part of the main event, in case anybody asks. So let's keep moving forward. Our first match is based on, of course, this is a very special match. Bring back memories from people from their Actwres Girls times. We have Tai Hamna. She teams up with her former mentor, Yuna Manaze. They take on the other members, Maika Ozaki. Many of you may know her from various promotions, but she's been known to be part of the faction known as Rebel X Enemy. And then there's Aina Aiba, who only been a wrestler for a year, but currently she's doing voiceovers, in case anybody asks. This was a match that was put together by Natsupoi and Saori Anou, but however, they decided to bring in a special guest referee, and this one is, of course, Nao Kakuta. Now, of course, people would have said that Nao Kakuta shouldn't be involved in wrestling, but however, even though she's retired, they decided we want her to be a special guest referee. I did report it that she's been in training at the Stardom Dojo to get everything done. I have to say, she did a pretty good, solid job. I mean, if she ever got the chance to be a referee, I think this would have been one of those moments where I like being a ref. I mean, we see that with Sunny from Pro Wrestling Evolution. But this match ended with, of course, Hamna applying a pinfall onto Aiba, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. So, pretty good match. Now, this next match is called the Discipline and Student match. And it's the Master and Discipline, the Master and Discipline. Basically, it's the Master and Teacher teaming up. We have, of course, Rian. Many of you know her from EXV, from Stardom. She was the one who requested to be in this match, and she was paired with one of Natsupoi's old teachers, who also trained not only Natsupoi but Suri as well. Kaori Ito. They take on Miku Kane, and of course Yumiko Ora from T-Hearts. Basically, you can tell this was one of those important matches where Rian is determined to push through. As you know, she is still basically have these experience. She hasn't had a major big win just yet. I mean, she has picked up wins where her teammates are the ones that picked it up, but she hasn't done that just yet. But you can tell there was moments between both her and Miku Kane. They actually faced off each other, but unfortunately Miku Kane picked up the win by a pinfall, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now our next match, we have a bit of a kind of like a battle royale type of match, or rumble. This one features many talents. Now they actually introduced the Shin Natsupoi Shin Saori Anou and the Shin um, Kuro Saori Anou. So many of you may ask, what does that mean? Shin Kuro Saori Anou. Basically, if those who ever known Saori Anou, she actually plays not only as a face when you see her in promotions like Sendai or Stardom Girls, but in Oz Academy she plays a heel. So she's in black. So Kuro means in Japanese translation black. So she's the Shin Kuro Black Sayuri Anou. So that kind of sets it up because her gear is in black. So basically, that portrayed character was done by Sakura Iroda. So she had to play mud. But for the people who were involved in this match, we had, of course, what's her name? Kakeru Sekiguchi. Who else was in this one? Let me pull it up. We had Akino, Hiroyu Matsumoto, who else? Yuko Sakurai, Sonoka Kato, Kyusen Ninja Ramnu, Rina Mikura, and Ryo Mizunami. So basically, that's who they had. But however, in this match, it was of course Shin Kuro Saori Anou that picked up the win when she pinned Sekiguchi, and just like that, it was over like 1, 2, 3, done. Now our next match, this one's a very interesting one. We have our Cinderella tournament winner, Sayaka Kurara, taking on Mayumi Ozaki. Now, this was a brutal match for Kurara, because Mayumi, she is the type of person that will beat you up and beat you to a pulp, if that's it. But I have to say, there were some moments where Sayaka was pulling off moves that belonged to Tam Nakano. She is trying to channel her inner Tam Nakano, because I know she has pulled off the Violet Screwdriver in the past. But, of course, when it comes to Mayumi, it was just way too much. So basically, Mayumi was able to pick up the win by the German suplex, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Our next match, we have Yuna Mizumori versus Saki. Now, this match was a very interesting one. For many who don't know, before Yuna Mizumori went to Stardom, she was with Choco Pro and various other promotions. But one of her favorite tag team partners she's ever teamed up with was none other than Saki, the de facto leader of Stardom. So that kind of plays out in its own way too, because Saki is a much better veteran and highly skilled than, of course, than Yuna Mizumori. But of course, we have seen her grown up a lot. She has throwing a bit of the high speed standard for someone of her size. But unfortunately, she ended up losing this match by Saki when she applied like some sort of a kick into the face, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now our next match, this one is a bit of a We Are Stardom match, basically talent from Stardom. We have our current Goddesses of Stardom champions, Wingori, Sayaida, and Hanan, taking on Starbomb from Neo Genesis, Starlight Kid, and Azumi. So it's no secret about each of the history from everybody. You got to remember, of course, Hanan and Sayaida are members of Stars, which they still are, and Starlight Kid used to be one of them. But this match was unbelievable. Now, of course, there'll be factors to be played. Now, as I mentioned before, Wingori are the current Stardom Goddesses of Stardom tag team champions. But if you look at Starlight Kid and Sayuri and Azumi, they are in fact champions in their own individual championships. Starlight Kid with the white belt, the Wonder of Stardom, and of course the Azumi being, of course, the the IWGP New Japan Women's Champion. So that kind of sets it up. I thought it was a pretty good match, pretty amazing, but unfortunately this match ended after 15 minutes of time limit draw, so just like that, it was over. Our next match, we have Aya Sakura taking on Natsupoi's BFF, Saori. Now, of course, Saori was invited to do this in favor of Natsupoi. As you all may not remember, Natsupoi did a favor for Saori when it came to Miku Kane. The first time she couldn't do it because she was injured, and Saori Anou stepped up for her. But now, and then later, of course, Natsupoi was recovered. She took care of the whole thing, and now Saori is doing her a favor too when it comes to dealing with trying to face off with a rookie who we know she has the potential to pull off big. Aya Sakura. I mean, she does have some good striking capabilities, but it's still not enough. But unfortunately, Saori was able to pull off the win with the Uranagi, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now for our main event, we have, of course, Mika Iwata and Big Shihiro Hashimoto from Sendai Girls. So basically, these two ladies had some history with the members with Saori Anou and Natsupoi. Of course, Mika Iwata has dealt with Natsupoi in the past, calling her selfish. But of course, that's who she is. I mean, she's always been not afraid to admit that she's selfish. But sorry, it just plays out pretty well. But however, when it comes to Mika Iwata, she is a deadly striker. She doesn't take any crap from anybody. Then you look at Big Hash, very strong lady who can pull out the last rider on her, and just like that, lays you flat. But however, in this match, it was of course Natsupoi who picked up the win by applying one of her moves onto her, which is like the roll-up thingy. Just like that, he picked up the win. And of course, the one thing that was interesting, they end this show, well, they kind of end the entire match having Natsupoi and Saori Anou face off each other. And that match only lasted 5 minutes, so it was not bad, but it was a pretty good show, not gonna lie. But we did see, of course, Aina Aiba doing a performance. So did Natsupoi and Saori, their song there, reference about saying thank you, that sort of thing. But nonetheless, it was a pretty good show, and they said they would like to do one at the Tokyo Dome, and hopefully they can pull it off. I mean, Unagi Sayaka was unable to do it due to the fact that she has to pay a lot of money, but that's how it is. But we'll see what happens. But as of right now, we are officially done with this one and move on with our last and final review, New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors. Okay, New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors. We are now reached the conclusion of this tournament. I have to say, it's been one hell of a ride. But the real question I think many of us would ask, who will walk out as this year's winners? Will it be Kosei Fujita or Yo? We'll find out soon enough. Now, we open up the show with, of course, Young Lion Shoma Kato taking on Robbie X. Now, of course, when it comes to these type of matches, keep in mind, boys and girls, the Young Lions always lose to wrestlers who have way more better experience. But when it comes to facing one of their own, that's where it's either a time limit draw or one will beat out the other. But however, Shomakato did pull a fight, but not enough. It was Robbie X who took him out with the X Express, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, over. Now, our next match, we have the House of Losers, consistent of Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, Ren Narita, and Sanada, taking on Kevin Knight, Kushida, Bolton Oleg, Toru Yano, and Master Wato. Now, the one thing that was interesting in here is that the House of Losers targeted Master Wato's knee countless times, and I wouldn't be surprised why. Many of you may ask me, why is that important? Well, here's the thing. Master Wato is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Think about it, guys. These punks, these losers, would do whatever it takes, of course, to get what they want. They would say they are the better team because they're tough. No, they're losers because they like to cheat. That's why. So they took out Master Wato by dismantling his knee, thanks to that idiot show. Once again, with his shenanigans with the wrench was the cause of it, and just like that, it was over. But of course, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, because if they targeted Wato just to get another chance of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team belts, well, that is something I'm sure that Wato and Yo will have to think about, because once again, he has to deal with his old tag team partner show. Now, our next match, we have the United Empire, consistent of Francisco Iquera, Cal Newman, and Great Khan, and they're accompanied by someone who recently, on that the day before, was Aina Aiba, who showed up at the 10th anniversary of Natsupoi, being like an honorary member of the House of the United Empire. But they face against a combination of Tomoaki Hamna, Yoshihashi, and Taichi. Now, keep in mind, Taichi, and along with Tomo Hiroishi, who, as you know, is currently traveling, will be facing against the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Cal Newman and Great Khan. But I have to say, some match moments in this, Hamna was trying to apply the Kokechi. There's been some failures, but they were able to pull it off. But unfortunately, it was, of course, Great Khan with the Eliminator onto Hamna, and just like that, it was over. So, United Empire picked up the win. Next up, we have a very interesting combination. We have Nick Wayne, Mao, Shota Umino, and El Fantasmo taking on the members of TMDK, consisting of Harley Jackson, Rohei Oiwa, Robbie Eagles, and the frontman Zack Sabre Jr. Now, nothing too special about this match, but I have to say there were some great dynamics on this one. But however, one thing that was very interesting is LP was able to pull off the CR2 onto Harley Jackson, and just like that, it was over. I mean, he picked up a huge dude. You wouldn't expect that coming from him, but yes, that's how it goes. Now, our next match, we have the members of the War Dogs, Titus Shimuri and Clark Connors taking on Teton and Yoshihashi. Nothing too special, but this match, I have to say, it had a killer ending, because those who know this, Clark Connors does the spear, so does Yoritsuji, but he calls it the Gene Blaster. So they had an old-fashioned shootout, like trying to see who will be the one to spear who. Well, that person who ended up on the wrong side of that was none other than Clark Connors, and just like that, it was completely over. Now, our next match, we have Evil taking on Ghetto. Well, one thing that's funny is that Ghetto got Dick Togo all tied up, and of course Dick Togo went after him by using all kinds of plunders, but apparently the match went into turn when once again Evil uses the referee to cheat his way through, and just like that, it was completely over when he applied the sharpshooter. But unfortunately, it wasn't over, because apparently Ghetto became the stepping stone for Evil to send a message to David Finley. As you know, I'm sure they're not going to give up on the whole Bullet Club thing or so, but we'll see. So we'll find out. Now, our next match, we have just 4 guys, consisted of Taka Michinoku, Yui Umura, and of course El Desperado, which is interesting that both El Desperado and Taka are reunited as former members of TMDK, but they face against Dragon Dia, Ninja Mac, and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Pretty good match, but the one thing they got to remember is the Ace. Some people say that he's getting slower and slower, but the Ace still is in good shape. He was able to pick up the win when he applied the the high five flow onto Taka Michinoku, and just like that, it was over. However, El Desperado remained in the ring until he had a little uninvited guest who he's faced countless times, Jun Kasai, so he's invited him once again to his show, which is going to be interesting. So, yeah. Our next match, we have Hiromu Takahashi and Shingo Takagi taking on Ryosuke Taguchi and Hiroki Goto. Now, keep in mind, Goto has an opportunity for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against, of course, Shingo Takagi. But Hiroki Goto has to be well aware that Shingo's not playing around. But unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, the burning dragon by onto Taguchi by Shingo, and just like that, it was over. Now for our main event, which is the one we've been waiting for, the best of the Super Juniors finals, we have Kosei Fujita and Yo. I thought this match was pretty good. It was totally amazing. But somehow Kosei Fujita fulfilled his dream when he applied the thrill ride, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. So basically, I don't know what's gonna happen to this dude. Just like I mean, no, hold on, yeah. Kosei Fujita actually picked up the win when he applied, of course, the thrill ride. Now, hopefully, he would have done the abandoned hope, but that didn't do well. But I have to say, Yo put up a hell of a fight. I mean, part of me would love to see Yo pick up the win because he has never won the IWGP title. But Kosei Fujita was really, really impressive. So he threw the thrill ride, so that means he will face El Desperado when the time comes. So it's still unclear when or where. And I'm sure Desperado is well aware of what's going to happen. So we'll see what Desperado thinks, and I'll let you guys know when it's the next time. But as of right now, we are officially done with our reviews. Let's move on with our last and final thing, news updates. Okay, welcome to our news updates. As always, let's begin with upcoming events. First up, we have GCW stuff in case anybody wants to keep up with that. Now, as you know, on the 22nd of June, they will be in Kansas City for Just Take a Picture. The GCW title will be on the line if Effie is still a champion. He'll defend it against Too Cold Scorpio. Now, as you know, they will be in Japan for a 3-day event between July 23rd through the 30th. More names have been announced. Dark Sheik, Jimmy Lloyd, Alec Price, Jordan Oliver, and one called Mathers. Now, on August 2nd at Rutherford, in New Jersey for the emo fight on the 2nd of August, we have Elena Black, formerly known as Cora Jade, Drew Parker, Brooke Havoc, Janai Kai, and Jamie Lloyd. Then we have Bloodsport, I think it's 16, that will happen on the 2nd of August as well. More names have been announced: Masha Slavich, Dominic Guarini, and Janai Kai. So that's pretty much for that. Let's continue on with more of the upcoming events. French promotion, APC Catch. They announced it for their upcoming event, Final Storm, on the 28th of June. Former WWE superstar Nick Mennett will be participating in it, and he'll face against a guy who I'm not sure if he has any sights set for signing with WWE. We're talking about Anglais Block. So, yes. Jersey Championship Wrestling with Born almost on the 4th of July. That'll take place on the 6th of July. At Asbury Park, they announced Adam Priest will be making his debut. And then finally, this was announced that Shinjuku Face will celebrate 20th anniversary show, feature Azure Revolution, which is the tag team name between Maya Yuhiki and Risa Sera. For those who do know, Risa Sera is on the verge of retiring, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is something she cooked up. So that's pretty much it for our developments. Now let's talk, for our upcoming events, let's move on to some developments. Harley Cameron, as what Wrestling Observer are saying, that she's decided to take some time off. The whole broken nose spot has basically been planned out, so basically it was just a shoot or something, I'm not sure, but that's what Wrestling Observer has been saying the entire time, so we'll see about that. Mariah May, this was saying that they removed her name from AEW roster, so she'll be on her way to WWE. We're not sure yet where she's going to land. Most people would assume that she'll be in NXT, hopefully, but we'll see. PW Insider reports that Mike Santana's presence at WWE, apparently he's been getting high remarks, so I wouldn't be surprised if WWE decides to sign him. So that's pretty much it. Now, as you all know, Hiroshi Tanahashi will be retiring in the next Wrestle Kingdom. As you probably know, we will have the Forbidden Door taking place later next month in London. So, as you probably can guess, Tanahashi will have his final match in the UK on that very same day. So it's going to be him teaming up with whoever or whatever's going to happen. But yeah, Carlito. Many of you may have heard that he is now exiting from WWE, which is so heartbreaking. I just couldn't believe that was happening. Now, Wrestling Observer reports there's been some call-ups for the WWE Rain Monster, either SmackDown or Raw. Stephanie Vakir, Ricky Saints, and Jordan Grace will be making their presence known at the main roster, if you like. But yes. Now, WWE, as you know, recently they've been trying to, how do I say, dominate the Mexican wrestling scene. But Wrestling Observer reports this. This is a very interesting subject, so let me pull it up. Yeah, this is what they said. WWE is very aggressive about dominating Mexico, particularly with AEW and CML alliance. WWE can't make the money for pay-per-view, and costs of doing TV there don't make sense since the Mexican government nor cities in Mexico aren't going to pay money to bring WWE in. With AAA, they might also lose money, but they're looking for is to take over the market. So basically, they're looking at the idea of having maybe a show there in Mexico, an actual show that could happen, could cost them money. Well, possibly does. Abadon, as you know, she just departed from AEW and she just left this statement for anybody who are big fans of her. My time with AEW has come to an end. My contract expires in June and I will not be renewed. The emotions I'm currently trying to manage are incredible difficult and full of conflict, and I reflect on the time there. My goal is not to let this be it for me because I love wrestling too much and I just stop, and I've put a lot of hard work that I will now be able to showcase more often. While my heart is currently broken for you can be that I'm still going to show up for training next week. I will be. If you're looking to book me, please send an email. Book Abadon here at gmail.com. Thank you. So you heard it, folks. If you have any promoters in your general area, if you want her to appear, book her at book Abadon here at gmail.com. Let me repeat that again. Book Abadon here at gmail.com. So hopefully I can put the little sign right there, but we'll see. Sammy Guevara revealed that he actually had to decline Darby's invitation to climb Mount Everest. Well, it's interesting that he invited him over, but this is what Sammy said, declining the offer. It's something that him and I talked about years. He invited me to do it with them, but I can't leave my family, and I can't go with the possibility of risk of dying up there. Maybe a younger Sammy would have took him up on the offer. I'll be very selfish to let of me to go. Hey, my little baby, I'm gonna risk my life to climb this mountain. I may never come back. I feel like you have a kid. It's very selfish of you to go and do something to put your life at risk like that. Darby doesn't have any kids yet, so I think it's more respect to him. He did it. What an accomplishment. It's something he's wanted to do for a long time. And this was at Sportskeda Wrestling Binge. So yeah, there's that. Sad news for WWE fanatics. R-Truth officially departed from the promotion, and he left a statement. I'm sorry to inform you all, I just got released from WWE. I want to thank WWE for the ride but mostly I want to thank each and every one of you who was along for the ride. Thank you for all the love and support and appreciation you may have gave me years. That thank you. So yeah, it's sad that he has to go, but yes, that's how it is. So that's pretty much what we have for our updates. So I'm very sorry, guys. I'm a bit of a tired. So let's call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode coming up. I haven't decided yet since it's going to be on a Monday, but right now I'm extremely tired, so I'm going to be trying to do it late editing on this episode, so we'll see how things roll up. But as of right now, I'll say this, and I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu, so goodbye, mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.